Intratier here for Discussions of Truth. What are we at? 6th of March now, and wow, time flies. It's 2023. We're the third month into 2023. Folks, Antifa has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Okay? Antifa has everything to do with disrupting, disorganizing, creating chaos in the American culture and society. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Antifa is funded by European anarchists in the sense that they work for the Vatican and the global banking order. Okay, that's kind of a nutshell. Of course, these people are not anarchists. They subscribe to this Vatican-dominated economic system, meaning central bank. America is their number one target because America, you, and your Constitution stand in their way of global domination. Let that sink through your head, folks. You've just heard it. So let me repeat it. And let it swirl around. You can meditate on it. Let it process. If you think any of this is fringe, let it process again. America, that is the United States of America, Stanford University. America is the last beacon of hope on the planet, and it, you, and your Constitution stand in the way of total global domination by the central banking system that resides and operates in Switzerland and that is completely controlled by the Vatican. Donald Trump was pushing back against such chaos. Whether he's part of the Great Reset, which is the oncoming digital order, the digital currency order, Executive Order 14067, I think it is, that Biden just signed off to get the central banking digital currency, the CBDC, implemented into American life to protect you, folks, protect you from cash. Oh my goodness. Here comes another virus, folks. You must mask up, put your hazmat suits on, wash your hands every second of the day. We're going to create a portable washing machine for you to walk around and put your hands in. Don't you dare touch cash. Now let's take those coins out of currency. Those are just about obsolete now. Cash is rarely used. And let me not remind you, don't sneeze next to your neighbor. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity. The human being has been walking the planet for, that's a good question, right? Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years. I don't know how long has a human being been around. I don't know what some of the science says. Certainly longer than 2,000 years, which is what the Vatican has been around for. And my new book, which gets into the Greek, how are the Romans able to topple the Greeks? And what were the Greeks fighting at that time? Let's just look at the very kind of elementary concepts of democracy. They don't come from Rome, folks. They come from Greece. And Athens today is a very struggling city. Yet Rome is that shining beacon on the hill. Okay, that is today. That's the world we live in today, 2023. So why is it that we've adopted these values, these ancient Greek, old Greek, Plato, Socrates, Aristotle? Why have we adapted these values? And we've allowed that culture to influence Western education throughout the past 1,000 years, a la Oxford University. Yet Yeah. If you're liberal politically and you identify that, you identify yourself as a liberal politically, you say, "Oh yes, we need to accept everyone." Well, yeah, you're right, and we do accept everyone, don't we? Isn't that the basis of the Constitution? Okay, no, I understand there was slavery and that sort of thing. I understand that. Let me not get too carried away. What I'm getting at is America has disconnected themselves from these Greek philosophical, political alliances because they have been strangled from behind this Roman empirical economic stranglehold. It's a far stretch. I understand it's a far stretch. If you haven't been studying this stuff day in, day out for the past 6 years like I have, then it's a incredibly foreign concept. So let's bring it back to ground zero. And what I said to you was America is the last stand. You and your Constitution, folks. Learning against learning. Give that a, next time you want to Google search something or Yahoo search or whatever your search engine is, the next time you feel like getting into something to expand and broaden your intellect, understand the concept of learning against learning and what that means in regards to an education system and how that may have and has infiltrated the American education system and is manipulating it and bringing it to its knees. It's called creating order out of a chaotic playing field. A playing field becomes a battlefield. So Donald Trump, again, whether he's part of the Great Reset or not, and I don't know, because I would listen to his pre-candidacy speeches in 2016 at Dura when I was living in Miami. I liked the fact that he was independent and he was running. He said he'd be running as an independent politically, but he joined the GOP. So did he make some sort of a deal? I don't know. Yes, I've met him, but no, I have not spoken with him. The fact of the matter is this: Antifa, BLM, a la the Black Panther movement, funded in large part similar to the Antifa movement to do this, to cause chaos in America with the ultimate goal, especially Antifa, to destroy your security, to go after your police departments, to weaken them, to make you live in a very violent, unorganized, unsafe society. And in this case, that happened within the past 24 hours, I suspect, at least I'm learning, in Atlanta, is one such incredibly great example of this. Okay? Again, it is funded by these European globalists, and it is meant to bring America to its knees. Atlanta is the target at the moment. Portland's another target. Seattle's another target. New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Miami, okay? And wherever they're effective, they will continue to grow. And again, it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Like I said, it was very active under Donald Trump because Donald Trump was pushing back against these globalists. But now, we've got peace and harmony with Biden in a stolen election. They continue pushing forth their digital currency agenda, their socialist regimes. So that's why things are stable. Even though inflation continues to skyrocket, national debt continues to skyrocket, and the Big Bang is just around the corner. Think not. It isn't, because it is. So circling back, Again, these are just simple comments in regards to Antifa. Free speech, free press, folks. But to a certain line, you must draw a boundary. And when protests or free speech or free press turn into violence, and that means the person that acts in that violent manner must be persecuted. It's no different, folks. It's no different than getting into some type of a domestic dispute with a partner or a person, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be, wife, husband, neighbor. And if you're struck physically, that is assault and battery. That's illegal, and that's where the line's drawn. But prior to that, in my understanding, you're certainly free to voice your opinion. So if your opinion is to support Antifa, that's your opinion and your support. Go for it. But once you start to physically attack, that's where you will be persecuted if law is enforced correctly. And it's not just Antifa, it's any other organization that could be and would be deemed a terrorist or domestic terrorist. Enemy foreign and domestic. But this has nothing to do with the GOP or the DNC. This has nothing to do with politics in the regards that these are internationally funded organizations to cause disruption in America because America stands in the way of the global agenda. But so fastly, right? So very rapidly, folks. Such a large percentage of Americans do not see this, and or they see the global agenda as being one of harmony and respect and global united love, if it will. Such wonderful concepts. Such wonderful concepts. And let me give you another angle to look at it from. You've got China, for instance. It's the most populated, or maybe India, one of the two. I think it's China. China's the most populated country on the planet. 1.5 billion people, is it? Close to 2, I'm not sure. Maybe India, I don't know. One of those two. I think it's China again. Here, the Chinese just floated a balloon over the U.S. And the Biden administration waits till it gets to the end of its journey to shoot it down. Well, all the information had already been live streamed and transmitted back to Beijing, Joe. But good puppet you are. Good boy. Playing along with them. Where millions of Americans on the ground are saying this is a military threat. It's an intrusion of our airspace. So on one end, you have the Chinese as a military threat. Yet in regards to the U.S. economy and trading partner, well, the Chinese are an incredible ally. Nike. Oh, we get our shoes made dirt cheap in China. We make such great profits. And all these Americans buy our products. I haven't known a pair of Nike shoes in years. Walmart. What's the percentage of products in Walmart that have been made in China, right? So this goes back to the concept of what is an Hegelian dialectic. You control both sides financially, regardless of the winner. You win as a bank. Anthony Sutton, National Suicide. Look at the books that he wrote. I believe 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Former Stanford Hoover fellow. But that's what's exactly going on. Let me get back. Let me round this up here. Let me wind this up, round it up. Immediately when I saw the reports this morning on the attack on the Atlanta Police Department training facility, once they're saying 23 suspects, once they started naming origin, Canada, France, I knew, boom, bingo. This was Antifa. I knew it. It looked like it. It smelled like it. I called it. Mainstream media at the moment is still not calling it Antifa. Nobody. NBC, Fox, CNN, no one is calling it Antifa. No one. New York Times, no one's calling it Antifa. However, if you go to your online search engine, Google, you'll find the British are immediately calling it Antifa because they know it's Antifa. And as soon as I saw that report, probably 7 hours ago, boom, I reached out to a few friends. I says, this is Antifa. And sure enough, the British are calling it Antifa. This is the objective, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you are Asian, whether you are black, whether you are Native American, Indian, whether you are white, whether you're a Latino, whether you're from Colombia, whether you're from Africa, Australia, I don't care where you're from. If you are a human being and you enjoy the United States and the prosperity that it brings, ladies and gentlemen, you must unite under its Constitution and those fundamental freedoms that it grants you. Doing anything to disorganize yourselves or deunite yourselves is counterproductive. Let me repeat. If you live in America and you enjoy the prosperity that it brings or has brought your ancestors, friends, generations past, you yourself, regardless of your ethnical and ethical origin, you must unite under the banner that represents the Constitution. And yeah, I know. The banner itself, known as the Star-Spangled, does not technically represent the Constitution, ladies and gentlemen. It represents, and this is a fact, the City of London, which in itself does not represent England. It represents the bank that controls the monarchy, that control the people of England and the British Kingdom, which ultimately is controlled by the Vatican-controlled Swiss banks. And that is who is trying to destroy American society. And they're doing a pretty good job of it. Ian Trottier here for Discussions of Truth. Pass it on. Thanks for listening. God bless America. Be awesome.